Dengan izin Puan Koroner, kes dipanggil untuk sambung inkuari 65A103-2020 Nora and Quoirin.
Okey, teruskan Puan Nuralis.
Selamat pagi Puan. TPR Noralis bagi pihak pegawai pengendali. Bersama saya ialah Tuan Ahmad Zazali, Puan Nur Fiza dan juga Puan Nur Atika. Dan pada hari ini Cik Saktivel, Cik Luis Azmi dan Lydia Eng bagi pihak keluarga Nora N, Encik Ali Benjamin dan Profesor Dr. Gurdial Singh bagi pihak dedusun. Saksi yang ke-38 pada pagi ini Puan.
Selamat pagi Puan.
Do you have the oath with you, Miss Helen?
Yes, I do.
All right. Are you going to testify in English or in Malay?
I would prefer in English, Puan Coroner.
Okay. Okay, please proceed. You may proceed now.
I, Helen Marion Todd, do solemnly, sincerely, declare and affirm that evidence which I shall give in this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Okay.
Miss Helen, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, thank you.
Okay, what is your age, Miss Helen?
I'm 77.
Can you please tell us your address?
My address is Kampung Kolam Air. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I do. You can proceed. Kampung Kolam Air.
Pantai 71770 Seremban.
All right. Are you working, Miss Helen?
I'm actually retired.
Okay. So that's all. Okay, now the question will be put to you, okay, from all the parties. All right?
Yes.
Okay, Puan Nuralis, you may proceed.
Okay, Puan. Okay, Miss Helen.
Yes.
Hello.
I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, my name is Nora Liz. I'm the pegawai pengendali for this case. Miss Helen, you can just answer yes or no. Then further elaboration will be asked by your lawyers. So now you're staying in the Dusun.
Yes, I am.
You are the owner of the Dusun?
I'm the owner of most of the lots of the land. The business. I'm the owner of most of the lots of the land. We have several land lots. The resort business is owned by a company, and our 4 children are shareholders of the company, and I am the major shareholder.
Who is Hanim?
Hanim is my daughter, my youngest daughter.
Okay, Nora and family came to Malaysia on the 3rd of August.
Yes.
2019.
Yes.
Okay, they came to the Dusun by a taxi, drove by a driver named Akram from KLIA. Is it right?
That's correct.
Okay, they stayed in the Sora house in the
That's
Dusun.
right. Yes.
There were 5 of them in the family, including Nora and 2 siblings.
Yes.
Okay, your staff named Asma. She is the one who arranged a visit around the Dusun, and then she brought them to the Sora house. Is it right?
That's correct, but I was not there.
Sorry?
That is correct, but I was not there.
You was not there. Okay, you only knew about Nora's disappearance on the 4th of August.
No, well, I saw the family and I talked to the mother on the 3rd, on the day they arrived. I did see the family on the day they arrived, and I talked to the
Okay.
mother.
Dengar.
That was maybe, volume should be higher. No. It's close.
What is the
Sorry,
actually the
Puan,
problem,
come again, Puan?
Uh,
Sorry, Puan, sebenarnya ada masalah speaker dekat office. So, saya tak berapa dengar jawapan saksi sebentar tadi. Sebentar,
Could you
Puan.
please repeat the answer, Miss Helen?
Yes. I saw the family on the day of their arrival, on the 3rd. And I did talk to the mother.
Okay. You only knew about Nora's disappearance on the 4th. You knew about that?
That's correct. Yes.
Did you participate for the search and rescue after the disappearance on the 4th itself?
In the morning of the 4th, before the police arrived, I organized our staff to conduct a search of the Dusun area.
Puan Koroner, that's all my questions. Thank you, Puan.
Okay, Mr. Sakti or Luis?
Good morning, Mrs. Todd. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
My name's Louise. I'll be asking some questions on behalf of the family.
Yes, Louise.
Just like to begin by asking you for some help to understand the layout of the Dusun. Dealing first of all with the fencing, it would be right to say that the back gate of the Dusun, although it was secure in the sense that there was a gate there were gaps at either side of the gate. Would that be right?
So at that time, the 2 lots, which belonged to the Pantai Hills Orchard Resort area, were not fenced. But we had a gate across the driveway so that no unauthorized vehicles could come up the driveway.
So just to clarify, would that be right that there was a gate there at the back, but it wasn't 100% secure? There were gaps at either side of it?
You could walk around the fence post, but you couldn't drive in.
Yes. So just dealing with that then, that back gate, from the Sora house, if Nora had left by that back gate, she would have encountered rough terrain to get there. Would that be right?
There's a cement path which leads from Sora House across the bottom of Sora House and then down a flight of steps to the Purling Pool. Then there's a driveway with a car park. And if she had walked down that driveway, it's a cemented driveway, but she would have had to swivel around, pivot around the gate post to get out the gate.
She couldn't just have wandered straight out accidentally from there, could she? It would have had to be quite deliberate. She'd have had to maneuver around the gate post.
Well, it wasn't difficult, but she would have had to swing around that gate post.
Not difficult, but deliberate. She couldn't have accidentally found herself suddenly past the fence. It would have had to be quite a deliberate action.
That's correct.
And then from there, it's quite steep on the other side, as I understand it.
From there, there's an internal road system of Pantai Hills Resort. That's on the neighboring property of about 70 acres.
And is it quite...
they have...
Sorry.
They have broad tarmac roads. Some of it is level, some of it is sloping, but I wouldn't describe it as very steep.
But just to understand, from the evidence that we've heard so far, are you aware of where Nora was eventually found?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. And we've understood from the evidence so far that it would not have been possible for her to come out of the back gate and make her own way around to that palm oil plantation. Would you agree with that?
I don't know, and I can't make a comment about that. It is possible to walk, and I do walk that route quite often.
But when you walk there, presumably it's very uneven ground.
You can walk there for most of the way on roads, but she would have had to walk down across the Pantai Hills. You're talking about her walking eastwards. Yes. And she was found directly westwards from the Dusun. So you're talking about her walking eastwards across the Pantai Hills Orchard Resort, down the main road, and then to a road reserve, Laterite Road, which is on the western side of the Dusun.
And then again, dealing with the layout of the Dusun, there is in terms of security, the front gate we've seen and we've been told was always locked and secured at night.
It was always locked, even night or day, because it's an auto gate and it can only be unlocked with a remote.
So there's no possibility that overnight on the 3rd of August, it could have been locked. It could have been unlocked. Apologies.
I can't say definitely there was no possibility, but that gate was locked by the staff when they left when they left work to go home.
There were parts of there was one particular part of the resort where there was the fencing was insecure. Is that right? There was, to describe it, Mrs. Todd, there was a portion where the fencing had fallen down and was flat to the ground.
There were 1 or 2 places like that, yes. That's the fencing on the western side.
But again, just to be clear, it wasn't that there was a gap in the fence that nobody would have noticed. It was quite clear that the fencing was still there and it would have been sharp and Nora would have had to clamber over it in order to get out. Would that be right?
She would have had to clamber over it, yes. The fence at the back was almost flat to the ground, but she still would have had to climb over it. But once she had climbed over that fence, it was very, very bushy, it was bluka, it wasn't an open path.
Mm.
And it was not a cement path.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Maybe both of you could specify which area, based on this map, you are referring to that particular fan you are talking about. Okay,
Yes.
we go one
I'm
by
not-
one. Oh, okay.
I'm not sure how to show this.
Mm.
There is the auto gate, number 5.
S, I believe.
S.
Mrs. Todd, that's the front gate?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then if you go to P, that's the storage area,
Yeah.
storage hut. Directly up the page from the storage hut is our boundary fence. And that's where it was broken. There is no cement path that goes from P to the boundary fence. And outside the boundary fence is quite thick undergrowth.
And drops away quite steeply, as I understand it, as well at that point.
It used to be an old road, so it is level where the fence is down. But it's very steep between P and Q.
So again, in the dark, without any shoes, would you agree that that would not be an easy route to navigate?
It would be difficult.
But for somebody perhaps who wanted to come in, perhaps somebody able-bodied and wearing shoes, it would not be impossible.
It would not be impossible, but it would be highly unusual.
And again, at the back gate, for somebody who was quite determined about getting into the resort, again, that would not be impossible.
No, it would not be impossible.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Sakti, do you have any additional questions?
Not at the moment, Puan.
Over you, Mr. Prof. Or Mr. Alif?
Yes, just 1 or 2 short questions. Thank you, Puan. Helen, you just said that for someone that it would be highly unusual for someone able-bodied to come through the way in which you suggested, way which you indicated. Why do you say it's highly unusual?
Well, my husband and I have lived in this property now for more than 30 years. We've lived with our family. Hanim's 2 children, my grandchildren, were born and brought up here. And it has always been a safe place for my family. I live in a very open house, as you can see behind me. And anybody can actually climb up onto the deck and balcony behind me if they were fit, but nobody ever has. We have never had a burglary, and we have never had an intruder in any of our houses. And could I make a small comment about why I think that is the case?
Well, I think
Coroner,
yes, you can.
we live in a very small valley, It has no through road, and we've lived here for a long time. West of us, where Nora was found, is an area of small holdings, mostly owned by people from Pantai. And people in this valley tend to know each other. And I think that, and the fact that we have an auto gate, and the fact that we've always had a very good relationship with the Orang Asli villages here, has made us very safe.
Okay, Helen, one other question. You just talked about there are small holdings that are owned by various people. So leading up to the place where Nora was found,
Yes.
are there or are there not kind of like access roads which are used by these smallholders, either on motorbike or to walk?
If you look at Q, and then you look at the Simpang with the Jalan dari Pekan Pantai, yeah, the road that comes from Pantai, that whole area is all small holdings. And most of them have an access road from the laterite road into their lots. Now, some of those access roads have been abandoned and neglected and are now full of regrowth, including the path to X. But it is possible to walk along the laterite road and into some of those access roads, although most of them are gated.
Okay, so there are pathways that from Dari Pekan Pantai, where it's indicated, which smallholders use to access their plantations. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes. And the smallholders come back and forth. Most of them don't live there, but they come back and forth on their motorbikes or in their cars to look after their small holdings.
Yeah, just one other question that I have for you. On the day when the Quoirin family arrived,
Yes.
did you see them on the day that the Quoirin family arrived? After they arrived?
Yes, I did.
After they
It was
arrived and
around-
after they checked in?
Yes. It was around 5:30, and I was in the pool with my grandson and my husband in the purling pool, the lower pool. I saw the Quoirin family walking down the steps, and they were all dressed up for walking. You know, they had walking shoes and long sleeve shirts. And they went past the pool and out through the purling gate. After that, I didn't see where they went. And then about 10 to 15 minutes later, they came back up the driveway and they came to the pool and they took off their outer clothes. They were wearing swimming suits. And they, the younger children came into the pool. Mabe was talking to Nora Ann, who seemed to be upset about something, and she was calming her down. And that's when I spoke to her and I introduced myself and we had some small talk. And then I took my grandson out of the pool and back to my house.
Yeah, just one final question. You said they walked past the pool, down the gate, the back gate and out. How were they walking? Was in particular Nora, was she walking normally?
I didn't notice that any of the individuals in the family were not walking normally. I just saw them all walking down.
Normally.
Normally, yes.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Okay. Miss Helen, I just want to get your clarification when you said that you saw Nora and the family at about 5:30 p.m. Where were you at that particular time? In the pool?
I was in the pool.
In the pool, which is marked as the bottom pool, which is marked as I believe so. I is for, yes, the bottom pool, the pulling
That's
pool,
correct.
is it? All right.
Yes,
So,
correct.
so how do you so sure that those were Nora family?
I wasn't sure that they were Nora's family until later.
Oh,
but
okay.
but I saw a family of 5 and with 3 children.
Uh-huh. So when
And
they joined you in the pool, then you can confirm that they were Nora family.
that, well, they said they had come from Ireland
Uh-huh.
and that they had had a long flight. Yes.
Whether
But-
whether the family had go beyond the back gate, which is marked as T, do you have any knowledge about that? Go
I didn't
beyond
see
that gate.
I didn't see where they went, whether they walked left or right.
Mhm.
I can't tell you whether they went down to the main road, where there's
Mhm.
a permanently locked gate
Mhm.
and they couldn't get through, or whether they went for a short walk further into Pantai Hills.
Okay. Okay, fine. So basically, how many times did you talk to the family? How many times?
The next,
Apart from the one at the pool.
next morning,
Uh-huh.
I was very much involved in the first meetings with the family.
Mm-hmm.
And this was because the staff called me to go down about 8:30 and talk
Mm-hmm.
to the mother. So even though I was retired and I have nothing to do or very little to do with the management,
Mm-hmm.
at that point, Hanim was not yet in the office and Asma was on leave.
Mm-hmm.
So I went down and I was the first person to talk to Maeve and Sebastian.
To both of them. So maybe you can share with us your conversation, the detailed conversation between all of you.
Yes, I can. When I went down, Maeve was standing outside of Sora house and she was crying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Sebastian was there. I think he was searching for Nora somewhere else. So I asked Maeve explained to me that her daughter was a special needs child. And that was the first time I'd heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked her, does Nora Ann go off on her own? Is she known for wandering off? And Maeve says, no, she's not. And then I asked, oh, please turn it off, David. And then I asked if they'd heard any noises in the house or outside of the house. And Maeve said she had heard somebody talking outside the house, in front of the house, but she didn't know what time it was. She thought it was quite late. Then I asked, what were the other children doing during the night? And she said Ines, the second daughter, came down the stairs sometime just before 7 to go to the toilet. And she saw that Nora was not in her bed, but she thought Nora must be with the parents. So she went back to upstairs and went back to sleep. And the parents themselves the parents themselves didn't wake up until after 8. Then I asked, did they sleep with the door open? Because there's a big sliding door between the bedroom and the living room. And they said they closed the door before they went to sleep. That is all I can remember of that conversation. And then I called Hanem to come down and handle the emergency. But and Hanem talked to the parents, and then she went to make a police report. So while Hanem was away at the police station, I organized the staff to search the Dusun area.
Okay.
And I asked Sebastian to come with me and search the whole area downhill from Sora House. And we did that. So there's a central staircase. And so Sebastian and I went down that staircase together, and I searched to the right and he searched to the left, almost down to the boundary. But we didn't find anything.
Who else involved in that search? I mean, the search between you and Sebastian.
No, but just for that part of the search, it was just myself and Sebastian. But the other staff, I had 2 ground staff.
Okay.
And I called Ujang, the other ground staff, who had a day off on Sunday. I called him to come in, and he came in almost immediately.
That took place
and
before the SAR team. Oh, sorry. Okay,
yes.
proceed.
Yes.
Okay, proceed.
And
Miss
so
Helen.
I told the 3 ground staff to search the whole of the Dusun property and to look particularly, we have 3 jungle areas on our property. And I asked them to particularly search those areas because if Nora were there, you would not see her from the road.
Okay, so that search took place before the SAR team came into picture. Am I right?
Yes, this was between about 9 o'clock and 10:30.
And the
and then,
location. Yes,
sorry.
go ahead.
I think it's easier for me if you question me, Puan Coroner.
Okay, all right. So about the location, the direction of the first search. Okay, I can classify it as a personal search. Okay, the direction, the location that you're going to search was actually came from you yourself, or upon discussion, or from Sebastian, from the family?
No, it came from me myself because I know the Dusun.
Okay, so is there any information that you get from Sebastian or map which can assist you in the search?
No.
Okay. So did they tell you, Sebastian or Map, where did they go on the date of the arrival? I mean, they said that they have this tour, the short tour around the Dusun. Did she or he tell you something about that, or did you ask them about that?
No, I didn't. They didn't tell me, and I didn't ask them, except for the trip down to the Pearling Pool, which I saw myself.
Okay, good. Okay, my last question is about Sora House. Tell me, could you please describe about the Sora House to us?
It's a 2-story house. The upper part is timber. The lower part is cement and plaster. You enter that house from the back porch. And then the front of the house, the living room, is open. There's no door there. And it moves onto a deck. There's one large master bedroom downstairs, which is joined into the living room with this sliding door, a double sliding door. Then there's a circular staircase that goes to a mezzanine floor. And in that floor, it's open to the living room with a balustrade. And there's a double bed and a single bed in that bedroom. There's no toilet up there. There's a bathroom in front of the house. And there's a small toilet underneath the stairs.
Okay. So it's an open concept house.
Yes.
Did you provide a key, a special key to the house, to the guests? I mean, particularly Nora family, or
I'm
just
sorry,
rely on the did you provide? I mean, the Dusun provide Nora house and family a special key to the house, or they just rely on the doorknob itself to lock,
I
to
can't
lock or what, to open?
answer that question because I don't check guests in. I'm not involved in that part of the management.
Okay, good. Never mind. Okay, thank you. I think that's
can tell
all.
you I can tell you about the house because it was built when I was the manager and I supervised the construction.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Puan Noralis, is there any additional question?
One, just few questions regarding the management of the resort one.
Okay.
Okay, who managed the daily runnings of the resort one?
Hanim was the manager and Asma was the assistant manager.
Hanim and?
Asma.
Oh, okay. Meaning Hanim and Asma know better about the resort maintenance and about the guests checking in the resort, is it? That's all, Puan.
Question. Let me start with Luis. No? Sakti? No? Mr. Datuk Prof? No? Alif?
This one's one or two small questions.
Okay, okay, go ahead. Okay, proceed.
Just to clarify, you said that you saw them go down to the gate, the back gate, and they proceeded, just to clarify, did they proceed out of the gate or not?
They did proceed out of the gate, but I didn't see after that where they went.
Yes, okay. And then one other question about the house. There was evidence given by the family, by both Mir and Sebastian, that they were troubled by a light, I think from the balcony or from some part of the house. And that's why they closed the door, the sliding door of their bedroom. Just to inquire, that light, is there a switch to the light? In other words, can it be switched off?
I'm not sure what light they mean. There is a spotlight on the deck, and the switch to that light is just on the door, on the wall beside the deck.
And it's clearly visible, the switch?
It's not only visible, it's labeled.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's fine.
And
yes.
They checked in during the day. So if the lights would not have been switched on at that point. So if that light was on, it was switched on by the guest.
I guess. I have no further questions, Puan. Thank you very much, Helen.
Okay, Puan Nulis, next. Macam
Puan,
hanging. Okay.
saksi seterusnya saya percaya Puan Asma daripada dusun, betul ke Puan?
Okay. Yes. Yes, dia ready kan, Cik Alif? Asma?
She's ready.
Iya, Puan. Just stand down sekejap bagi saya call. Dah. Okay.
Okay, alright. Okay, Aisyah.
Puan Asma ya? Puan Asma?
Ya, saya.
Boleh cakap kuat sikit? Tak
Ya,
jelas
saya.
lah.
Dengar tak?
Sumpah saya dengar. Puan Asma ada ke dengan skrip sumpah untuk angkat sumpah pada hari ini?
Ada.
English atau bahasa Melayu?
Bahasa Melayu.
Okey, baik. Boleh teruskan angkat sumpah Puan Asma?
Bahawasanya saya, Nur Asma binti Lokman, dengan sesungguhnya dan suci hati, mengaku dan berikrar bahawa segala keterangan yang akan saya berikan dalam perbicaraan ini adalah benar. Tiadalah apa-apa yang tidak benar, melainkan benar belaka.
Okey, turunkan tangan. Boleh turun tangan Puan Asma. Okey, umur sekarang Puan?
30.
Boleh nyatakan alamat Puan Asma? Alamat kediaman?
Nombor 223, Jalan BK5, Desa Datuk Kelana, 71770, Pantai Seremban.
Kini apa jawatan dan juga pekerjaan Puan Asma?
Pengurus di dusun.
Saksi telah angkat sumpah akan beri keterangan bahasa Melayu Puan Koroner.
Okay, teruskan Puan Nuralis.
Nama dia apa?
Terima kasih Puan. Puan Asma
Ya, saya.
Okay Puan, pada 3 Ogos 2019 Puan telah menerima satu keluarga Nora N yang pada waktu itu datang bersama ibu, ayah dan juga adik-beradiknya. Betul ke Puan?
Betul.
Siapa yang menyambut kedatangan keluarga ni Puan?
Saya sendiri.
Okay, sewaktu sampai, siapa yang membawa keluarga ni ke tempat penginapan mereka?
Saya.
Sebelum Puan bawa ke tempat penginapan, ada tak Puan bawa mereka berjalan sekitar dusun, melawat kawasan dusun tu?
Ada. Dari parking, saya terus berjalan, turun tangga, lepas kolam mandi yang pertama dan terus ke Sora House.
Okay, Puan membawa keluarga ni ke The Sora House. Maksudnya sepanjang perjalanan Puan boleh lihatlah keadaan keluarga ni macam mana. Puan masih ingat lagi ke? Okay,
Masih.
Puan nampak, boleh camkan tak pada waktu itu Nora N?
Saya tak perasan semua guest, tapi saya perasan semua orang berjalan. Masa tu saya tak perasan Nora N yang mana satu, tapi semua orang berjalan seperti biasa.
Berjalan seperti biasa maksudnya naik turun tangga dan naik sedikit kawasan bukit seperti biasalah Puan. Tiada siapa yang memerlukan bantuan.
Ya, betul.
Okay, tadi Puan kata Puan bawa mereka ke Sora House. Ada Puan tunjukkan fasiliti yang terdapat dalam Sora House tak?
Ya, sebaik saja masuk ke dalam rumah, saya tunjukkan master bedroom, saya tunjukkan bilik mandi dan 2 toilet, saya tunjukkan fasilitis di dapur, air minuman, pinggan mangkuk di mana, dan saya juga beritahu mereka yang jika mereka perlukan lebih udara, jika mereka rasa panas, mereka boleh membuka tingkap. Dan saya menolak ke semua tingkap.
Okay Puan, keadaan Sora House itu sendiri adalah satu villa yang open air.
Betul.
Betul kan Puan? Jadi Puan katakan tadi kalau panas boleh buka tingkap ni, boleh tak Puan jelaskan berapa banyak sebenarnya tingkap yang terdapat di dalam Sora House ni?
Di ruang tamu, di sebelah bila kita masuk je Sora House, kita akan nampak 2 tingkap di dapur dan lagi 2 tingkap di sebelahnya.
Tadi Puan kata Puan membuka semua tingkap-tingkap dalam Sora House ni Puan betul
Di bahagian bawah.
Selepas Puan tunjukkan mereka keadaan sekitar rumah, apa lagi yang Puan buat?
Maps Ibu Nora tanya kepada saya tentang aktiviti yang boleh dibuat dan mereka bercadang untuk pergi untuk mendaki ke hutan selama 6 jam. Jadi saya cakap dekat Maps bahawa tidak sesuai untuk kanak-kanak untuk pergi ke jungle trek selama 6 jam dan Maps said it was okay because all the kids used to walk. Dan Maps juga ada book massage selepas jungle trek. Tapi saya tak ingat sama ada Maps book untuk Maps sahaja atau untuk Sebastian sekali.
Maksudnya bila Puan cakap macam tu, maksudnya satu keluarga berminat untuk buat jungle trekking ke Puan?
Ya, satu keluarga dan
jadi ada lepas Puan nasihatkan bahawa tak sesuai, selepas itu mereka masih lagi ingin meneruskan dengan pendakian tu. Ada tak Puan buat apa-apa tempahan? Ataupun Puan
saya terus telefon kita punya guide dan saya SMS kita punya guide. Mereka mahu pergi jungle trek selama 6 jam dan saya teruskan arrange untuk massage itu.
Bila dijadualkan sepatutnya mereka pergi jungle trekking ni Puan?
Saya tak berapa confirm sama ada Ahad atau Isnin, tapi seingat saya Isnin.
Isnin ni maksudnya 2 hari selepas mereka tiba ke? Mereka tiba pada hari Sabtu, betul ke Puan?
Betul.
Okay, selepas tu Puan tinggalkan mereka dalam Sora House. Ada tak mereka hubungi Puan untuk bertanyakan mengenai apa-apa fasiliti di sekitar tempat tersebut?
Tiada.
Ada mereka komplain ataupun buat apa-apa laporan berkenaan dengan keadaan rumah ataupun kawasan sekitar dedusun kepada Puan?
Tiada.
Pada
Puan,
4
saya
hari bulan
tambah sikit.
Okey.
Okay. Masa saya tunjukkan fasilitis dalam rumah Sora, saya juga beritahu mereka jika ada emergency, mereka boleh call nombor emergency. Kita ada satu frame nombor emergency di dalam rumah. Dan pada masa yang sama, saya panggil Map Sylvie. And then Map said, I am not Sylvie. Sylvie is my friend. She helped us to book the place.
Okay, maksudnya Puan ada maklumkan berkenaan dengan cara nak hubungi sekiranya ada kecemasan. Sepanjang malam tersebut pada hari mereka tiba, ada tak mereka menghubungi Puan? Ataupun mana-mana front desk?
Nombor kecemasan Hanim yang pegang pada malam tu. Jadi saya tak pasti sama ada mereka ada hubungi atau tidak.
Okay Puan, pada 4 Ogos 2019, Nora N telah pun hilang daripada Sora House. Puan tahu kan?
Tahu?
Puan dapat tahu dari siapa berkenaan dengan kehilangan Nora N?
Dari suami saya.
Selepas Puan dapat tahu berkenaan kehilangan tu, apa yang Puan buat?
Saya terus telefon Puan Hanim, tanya sama ada ia benar atau tidak. Hanim cakap ia benar dan Hanim sedang menuju ke balai polis. Saya terus bersiap dan terus pergi ke dedusun.
Ada Puan terlibat tak dalam pencarian Nora N ni sepanjang waktu tersebut?
Saya tidak terlibat.
Puan Koroner, itu saja soalan saya pada saksi Puan.
Okey, Luis atau Mr. Sakti, silakan.
Puan Hasma.
Ya, Mr. Sakti.
Dengar?
Ya, dengar.
Selamat pagi Puan. Nama saya Sakti ya. Saya peguam bagi pihak keluarga. Saya ada sedikit soalan ya. Kalau tak faham atau tak dengar, sila jelaskan. Puan kata Puan yang sambut keluarga si Nora. Betul?
Ya, betul.
Puan sambut mereka di tempat letak kereta.
Ya, betul.
Dan Puan bawa terus mereka ke receptionist atau ke Sora House?
Kita pergi ke receptionist mula-mula untuk check-in dan kemudian kita berjalan ke Sora House.
Kamu check-in, ada tak apa-apa access key yang kena diberikan untuk rumah tersebut?
Saya minta maaf, saya tak dapat confirmkan sama ada saya bagi kunci ataupun tidak. Tapi selalunya kita bagi kunci kepada guest.
Maksudnya rumah itu ada kunci? Pintu
Setiap
depan rumah
ada
itu?
kunci. Ya, pintu depan depan rumah, setiap rumah ada kunci.
Okey, sekarang kamu dari resepsionis kamu bawa keluarga si Nora ke Sora House, betul?
Betul.
Kamu berjalan di depan ke belakang?
Di depan.
Di depan.
Ya, betul.
Keluarga si Nora di belakang kamu.
Ya, betul.
So kamu tak boleh kata secara pasti sama ada mereka jalan secara normal atau tidak, but dia jalan lah. That's given. Mereka memang
Ya,
jalan.
saya boleh pastikan mereka jalan secara normal kerana daripada parking saya nampak mereka berjalan dan saya berjalan bersama mereka ke reception dan bila turun ke reception saya di belakang. Masa turun daripada reception saya di belakang, mereka turun ke patio, kami berhenti di patio, saya di hadapan dan mereka ikut saya di belakang.
Okay.
Dan semasa saya menerangkan, saya sentiasa toleh ke belakang kerana saya tunjukkan mereka ini swimming pool, ini patio tempat makan. Jadi saya, walaupun saya berjalan di hadapan tapi saya tidak pandang hadapan saja.
Maksud kamu pandang depan, kamu pandang belakang sambil bercakap.
Ya, betul.
Lepas sampai ke rumah Sora House, kamu ada bagi keterangan bahawa kamu ada tunjuk master bedroom, bilik atas, ruang tamu, dining table dan juga kamu beritahu keterangan bahawa jika keadaannya panas boleh buka tingkap dan kamu sendiri telah membuka tingkap bawah di bahagian bawah, betul?
Ya, betul.
Ada masa itu Puan beritahu kepada mana-mana keluarga bahawa latch untuk pintu tersebut tidak boleh ditutup?
Tiada.
Lepas tu kamu tunjukkan pintu atau tingkap-tingkap di bahagian atas di mezzanine floor?
Saya tidak naik ke bahagian atas.
Oh, tidak. Di bahagian bawah saja. Maksudnya kamu tak naik ke bahagian atas untuk menunjukkan bilik atas yang mempunyai dua katil dengan katil kecil?
Tidak, sebab saya hanya pointkan daripada bawah saja. Saya pointkan atas ada satu double and satu single. Itu yang biasa saya lakukan.
Okey. Lepas tu Puan Hasma dah keluar?
Lepas kami berbincang pasal aktiviti dan saya bagi tahu pasal emergency number, lepas siap arrange semua tu saya pun keluar daripada rumah.
Emergency number tu nombor siapa?
Emergency number tu nombor emergency untuk the doctor, bukan nombor siapa-siapa.
That means the emergency number kalau konteks siapa yang ambil? Ada tak receptionist yang ambil atau there's a particular person? That's what I'm asking.
Normally Hanim will take it.
Okay. Your receptionist tutup pukul berapa? Untuk
Pukul 5.
Pukul 5. Puan ada kata tadi bahawa map ada tanya mengenai perjalanan di 6 jam tu kan semasa di rumah. Tuan setuju bahawa perjalanan itu juga ada tertera dalam website kamu? It is a recommended action in your own website. Setuju?
Ya, betul. Ya, betul.
Dan Puan setuju bahawa if it's a she said children can. Puan, dalam website tersebut juga ada terkata bahawa perjalanan itu juga suitable untuk children untuk umur 6, 7, 8, 9. Setuju?
Saya rasa 8 tahun ke atas.
Okey. So 8 tahun ke atas sesuai lah. That's what
Ya,
the website
dalam
says, right?
website.
Setuju?
Yes, right. Sebab dalam website ada dua jenis jungle track.
Ya.
Satu yang 3 jam, satu lagi yang lebih jauh 6 jam. Dan kami tulis bahawa 8 tahun ke atas sesuai untuk jungle track.
Iya.
Tapi kami tidak tulis sama ada sesuai 8 tahun ke atas sesuai untuk 3 jam dan 6 jam. Kami tidak
Ya.
separatekan. Kami tidak separatekan.
Ya, maksudnya
penyesuaian.
maksudnya kamu ada buat general statement sesuai untuk 8 tahun ke atas, whether it's 3 hours or 6 hours tak specify, but a general statement ada di website tersebut.
Ya, betul.
Kamu beritahu dalam keterangan kamu mengetahui mengenai kehilangan Nora daripada suami kamu. Suami kamu kerja di dusun ke atau dia dapat maklumat daripada pekerja lain dari dusun?
Suami saya tidak bekerja di dusun. Tapi pada musim durian, suami saya membantu di dusun untuk menjual durian. Jadi suami saya berada di simpang bawah, pusat pengutipan durian di simpang bawah. Hanim telah telefon suami saya dan beritahu suami saya untuk tolong mencari budak yang hilang.
Daripada situ suami kamu memberitahu bahawa ada kehilangan anak lah, seorang.
Ya.
Saya tidak ada soalan lain, Puan. Terima kasih, Puan Asma.
Terima kasih.
Okay. From the Dusun, Datuk and Mr. Alif.
Puan Asma, saya ada beberapa soalan ya. Berdasarkan keterangan dan soalan-soalan yang telah ditanya tadi, just untuk sahkan beberapa perkara ya. Puan Asma, boleh dengar suara saya?
Boleh, Encik Alif.
Okay. Puan Asma, bila jawab just cakap kuat sikit dia, nak pastikan semua jelas dan direkodkan.
Boleh.
Okey, Puan Asma, mula-mula saya nak tanya, untuk stay bagi pihak keluarga Nora N ni, booking dibuat melalui platform apa?
Booking dibuat melalui platform booking.com dan booking dibuat oleh Sylvie McDermott.
Okey, maksudnya nama orang yang membuat booking tu adalah Sylvie McDermott.
Yes, betul.
Dan itu yang nama yang Puan first panggil Matt pada hari pertama tu.
Ya, betul.
Okay. Dan untuk pengesahan bila booking ni dibuat?
Pada, tidak silap saya, pada 18 Mac 2019.
Okey. Dan seterusnya semasa tour yang Puan telah bagi, tour Sora House kepada keluarga pada hari pertama tersebut ya Puan ya. Puan tadi ada katakan yang Maib ada bertanya tentang niat mereka untuk membuat jungle track selama 6 jam tersebut.
Ya, betul.
Dan Puan Asma mungkin ada cakap yang ia tidak sesuai. Boleh tak Puan jelaskan apa exactly yang Puan cakap kepada Maib selepas beliau bertanya tentang track 6 jam tersebut?
So saya beritahu Maib, I think it is not suitable because I saw the kid is same like Hansi age, like 8 or 9 years old, and then the kid is not fit to walk for 6 hours. And then Maib said it's okay because all our kids is used to walk.
Siapa Hansi yang Puan nyatakan tadi? Siapa tu Hansi tu?
Hansi is Hanim's son. Hanim first son.
Okey. Dan satu lagi Puan Asma tadi kata Puan Asma juga ada membuka tingkap-tingkap dalam rumah The Sora House. Dan saya nak tanya ya, tingkap pertama yang di dapur tu, apakah ketinggian tingkap tersebut? Adakah di paras lutut, paras pinggang untuk Puan Asma?
Paras lutut saya rasa.
Paras lutut ya. Okey. Itu saja soalan bagi saya, Puan. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Okey, Asma, saya ada beberapa soalan ya. Okey, Asma cakap untuk keluarga Nora N booking dibuat melalui booking.com oleh Sally McDermott pada 18 Mac 2019. Okey, selepas booking dibuat, was there any other subsequent conversation antara you dengan maybe Sally McDermott ke ataupun daripada wakil daripada Nora? Berkenaan dengan status booking, mungkin berkenaan dengan rumah yang dia akan duduki.
Saya tidak ada conversation bersama Sylvie. Conversation yang pertama dengan Map. Map request untuk ada extra bed dekat 2 bedroom untuk anak berumur 8 tahun. Sebab mereka ada 3 kids dan mereka ada 3 kanak-kanak dan 2 dewasa. Mereka minta supaya disediakan 3 katil di dalam bedroom nombor 2.
3 katil dan bedroom nombor 2. Maknanya di atas lah. Di mezzanine kan?
Ya. Ya.
Alright. So selain daripada tu ada
Okay, selepas itu Maps book airport transfer, transport dan Maps juga book makanan untuk lunch dan dinner hari pertama.
Lunch and dinner hari pertama. Maybe you can share with us the detail particulars of that lunch and dinner?
Okay, for lunch, mereka order 1 Minang Kabau set, fish, and then 1 Minang Kabau set vegetarian. Dan untuk dinner, mereka order 1 kampung barbecue set dan 1 vegetarian BBQ set.
Okay. So Asma cakap, Asma bawa the family, okay, the Quoirin family kepada Sora House. Then you said that you tunjuk the layout dalam tu, especially mana master bedroom apa semua. You ada masa you tunjuk mana master bedroom, mana bathroom, semua you ada masuk dalam bathroom, dalam master bedroom tak? Masa you terangkan kepada family. Ada.
Ada. Sebab bila saya nak tunjukkan bilik mandi dan tandas yang pertama, saya tunjukkan melalui master bedroom. Sebab master bedroom tu connected dengan bilik mandi dan tandas yang pertama.
Okay. So apa ni? Sekejap Sekejap, saya minta Amirul untuk upload gambar. dalam apa? Okey, yang nampak 2 tu Amirul. Okey. Okey, these two I tak tahu, sebelah kanan tu so far I identify dia sebagai the sunken bath, and yang sebelah kiri tu saya kata the bathroom, the ordinary bathroom. Waktu 2019, okey, pada waktu hari waktu the date of arrival, adakah dua-dua structure macam ni? Asma. Ada 2.
Ya, betul.
2 macam ni. Alright.
Betul.
So waktu you terangkan these two, siapa yang berada bersama Asma?
Saya tak pasti Puan, tapi
Okey. Mak dia, ayah dia?
Tapi yang pasti mak dia ada dengan saya.
Ayah dia tak ada.
Saya tak pasti sama ada semua orang ikut saya pada masa tu.
Okay, so you memang confirm mak dia ada, tapi ayah dia you tak pasti?
Saya tak pasti.
Alright, okay. Then you buka lah semua, even the sliding door dekat second bath tu pun you buka, semua you buka ke ataupun you just tunjukkan, show them this area?
Yang saya pasti saya buka pintu bathroom dan saya masuk ke dalam bathroom. Tapi saya mungkin tak tunjuk the bathtub.
Okay, alright. So tingkap-tingkap dekat Sora House at that particular material time, ada apa ni, saya difahamkan okay, Sora House is an open concept house, okay, and there is no boundaries between the inside there and the outside, okay. Then about the windows, sama ada di dalam master bedroom ataupun di luar ataupun di atas mezzanine, adakah dia ditutupi dengan apa, langsir ke pada at that particular time?
Tingkap yang ada langsir cuma tingkap di dalam master bedroom.
Itu sajalah.
Dalam master bedroom yang ada langsir yang tebal berwarna biru gelap. Selain daripada itu, tingkap yang lain tidak ada langsir.
Okay. So bila masa diorang sampai, maknanya tingkap-tingkap di dalam Sora House memang bertutup lah dan Asma yang buka semua tingkap.
Ya, betul.
Okay, so masa you buka tingkap yang dikatakan terbuka waktu Nora N didapati hilang, tiada di rumah tu, maknanya adakah you perasan bahawa dia punya latch tu ada problem sikit ke apa?
Latch tu memang saya dah perasan lama. Latch tu dah rosak. Dan saya rasa dalam bulan 7 saya dah minta Adam untuk carikan latch tu. Adam dah cuba cari latch tu tapi dia tak jumpa latch yang sama. Dan saya cakap tak apalah sebab Sora akan ada renovation bulan 10. Jadi kita biarkan saja dulu. Okay.
So sebelum keluarga Nora datang pada bulan 3 bulan 8 2019 dia sampai. Okay. Sebelum dia dalam bulan tu lah, dalam bulan 3 tu dah ada berapa family, kita anggaplah family ke group yang stay dekat Sora House dalam bulan 3 tu itself.
Bulan 8 tu?
Bulan 8, sorry 8. Dia datang 3 bulan 8. Yes. 3 bulan 8 tak boleh lah. Dalam bulan 7 dengan bulan 8. Dalam rough figure Asma.
Dalam 13 family.
13 family. Dan waktu this 13 family masa tu latch masih problem lagi lah, belum ditukar lagi lah.
Ya betul. 13 family tu bermula daripada 5 Julai sampai 2 Ogos.
2 Ogos. Okay, 2019. Alright. Sekejap So, bila diorang masuk and then you are explaining to them the facility yang ada di dalam Sora House, you ada perasan ke apa reaction anak-anak Map and Sebastian bila diorang masuk dalam rumah Sora tu?
Saya perasan dia yang lelaki tu. So anak lelaki dia quite active and talkative. Dan Nora senyap, dan semasa saya memberi penjelasan tentang boleh buka tingkap jika panas, Nora sedang duduk di spiral staircase.
Okay, alright. So selain daripada map request untuk extra bed, airport transport, makanan, ada tak any question put to you Asma? Sebab you yang the one yang in charge untuk email yang come in come out kan?
Ya betul.
Alright. So is there any other question other than that the three points tadi about, mungkin dia tanya about Sora House?
Tiada.
Tiada Okay.
Tiada.
Alright. Okay. Itu saja. Puan Noralis, ada additional question? Puan Noralis? Think ada line problem ke macam mana? Aisyah, you WhatsApp. Kita apa ni? Encik apa ni? Datuk and Alif kalau ada soalan tambahan. Or Luis ada soalan
Puan.
tambahan? Okay. Waiting for Noralis.
Puan, kami tiada
Okay, Puan Noralis.
kami tiada soalan tambahan. Itu sahaja.
Okay. Alright. You may leave now, Asma. Thank you very much. Saksi dilepaskan dan dibebaskan.
Okay, terima kasih.
Alright. Okay. So Nora N petang ni pukul 2 petang. So we are expecting some further document. Okay, I mean some further report on Nora.
Yes, Puan, I've already filed it this
Okay.
morning.
You dah file kan?
Yeah, I've